hadn't guessed it, we're on the road again. And we're heading up to Glencoe and surrounding areas. I wanted a weekend away, I got some time off from work. I've no real plan as to where I'm going. A couple of ideas in mind, but nothing set in stone. The weather is looking changeable. But as they say in Scotland, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change. At the moment, I'm just driving alongside Loch Lomond, heading towards Crown Larrick, which I think is home to the Green Welly stop, which is a cracking little stop. Got a couple of sleepy spots marked out, plenty of food in the van. I bought my snow shovel because allegedly there's going to be snow. And I've got a couple of DVDs to keep me entertained should it be chucking it down with rain. I'm praying for snow. Even in weather like this, Glencoe just kind of takes your breath away. And these trips are becoming more and more about getting away from it, leaving day-to-day normal life behind, going out, seeing new places, relaxing, being in the van. I absolutely adore sleeping in the van, sitting in the van, eating. I just love it. And it's becoming more and more about that. Yes, I still enjoy the photography, but I come to a place like this and I think, am I missing stuff because I've continually got the camera to my eye? So again, this is going to be a weekend with no pressure on me to take images. I'm sure I will do, especially if this mist lifts. But I want to get away from the daily grind of life and just enjoy the beauty that this world has to offer. And yes, it's murky and grey, but wow, it's still impressive. Good morning. Bit of a late start for me this morning. This was my sleepy spot last night. Now I'm sure I shall probably pronounce this wrong. Loch-Actriocton, maybe. I poked my head out the window at 5 o'clock this morning and it was blanket cloud and still blowing a gale, so I thought, well, I might as well just go back to sleep. So I had a bit of a lie-in. And now I'm going to go off and have an explore. I've had breakfast and a cup of tea. It's still windy, but not quite as bad as it was last night. So yeah, I'm going to head off and see what I can find. Well, today's been a bit of an odd day. I've had a good long drive around. As you can see, the sun has finally come out. But I'm definitely suffering from a bit of a crisis of confidence. I've driven quite some way today, just having an explore. I went out to, I'm probably going to murder this word, Tainhild, I think it's called, which looked rather picturesque on Google Maps. But when I got there, it started to rain. So I didn't really see much of the place. So I've ended up, as you may be able to see, at Kilchurn Castle, which was on the list for things to see this weekend. And I'm not sure if it's because my head really isn't in the right space for this at the moment. But I'm struggling like Billy-O. When I came before, we were shooting from the far bank, head on, which kind of makes the ruins look rather flat. So I thought I'd wander along the side to try and get a side view of it. And when the sun comes out, or pops out from behind the clouds that it's doing a fairly good job of hiding behind over there, it lights up the castle, gives it a little bit of separation from the hills behind it, but it also gives it a bit of depth. It becomes more 3D. But we have an issue in there is a huge expanse of nothing, just water, between the shoreline and the castle. So I found these 3 little rocks, and I've spent a good 3/4 of an hour moving left, moving right, going up, going down, an inch left, an inch right, an inch forward, an inch back. I'm shooting in portrait orientation because if I shoot landscape orientation, I get this little bit of land in here, which kind of ruins it. And I can't find any other foreground interest to put there. Now, if we had a still day and we had reflections, I wouldn't be the slightest bit bothered about foreground interest. When you've got an expanse of water like this, you need something in the front of the image to anchor it down. The other awkward thing about Kilchurn is there's a train line runs all along the back here, which isn't a problem, except you get pylons, oofing great pylons. From the far side of the bank, where you're shooting head on, you don't tend to see them so much. Being stood here, there's one directly behind the castle, which is fine because that's hidden, but there's one on either side. And when the sun lights up the castle, it also lights up this pylon here. So what's the girl to do? I'm really not sure. It's getting a little bit windy again. So yes, I think it's going to end up as an image stack. I also feel it's going to be a square crop. I need to get my mojo back. If you see it, can you send it up here for us? But it is beautifully peaceful out here. I really, 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 really need to get here one day when we have mirror-like reflections. There's certain images that always elude you, and this is one of those. It's just an excuse to keep coming back. It's only 6 hours away from home. Oh God. Well, 6 hours between friends. Right, I'm off. I'm going to wait for the sunset colour to illuminate the sky in the most amazing sunset ever. Failing that, I'll see you tomorrow. Well, I cannot say how welcome this site is. After the last 48 hours of bleh and muck and rain and cloud in Glencoe, when I saw the colour of this water as we came over the hill, wow. I'm actually lost for words. I never in a million years would have dreamed of seeing water this colour off the coast of Scotland. We're in a little town called, see if I can murder this name, Arisaig. We're between Arisaig and Moira, and the place that I've just walked through is the Traig Beach. I think that's how it's pronounced, Traigh. White sandy beach to this beautiful turquoise water. Oh. It's still blowing a small gale, but it's actually, I think, about 13, 14 degrees, which is, trust me, I'll take that over what we've had the last couple of days. I had another lie in this morning. Sunrise just wasn't happening in any way, shape or form. Oh. Now, I'm really not sure if you're going to see this, but in the distance over here, I hope to God you're straight, we have a large mountain range. You can just see there's just snow on the tops, and I believe that's sky. And then there's a couple more islands back here which may or may not be Elgol and Mull, or they may be over there. I'm really not sure. I'd no idea I was going to end up here, so I haven't really looked to see what's what. But I'm relatively certain that's sky in the distance. I was going to stick it out at Glencoe, but then I had a quick look at the map, and this place is about an hour and a half further on. And I looked at the weather forecast and thought, I need some sun. Now the tide, although here it looks like it's going out, is actually coming in, which is a bit random. Sunset is going to be over there. We may well get some nice colour in the sky if this cloud cover stays. The light is a little bit too harsh at the moment to do any photography, any sensible photography. So I'm going to, it's, I don't know, 3:30. Sunset is around about 8ish, and high tide is 7:20. So I'm going to have a scout around and see what I can find composition wise. And I think I'm going to stay here for sunrise, because the tide times again, I think the high tide is 7:20 a.m. and sunrise is 6:45. So we'll be about right again. It's like being in the Caribbean, because this colour is amazing. Well, while you're having a quick look round, I thought I'd just talk you through what I'm up to. Yes, I know you can't see me, but seeing the scenery is far more important. It is an absolutely stunning location, and the colour of this water is amazing. Sorry, I'm just trying to shield the mic. But it's not as easy as I thought it might be to create a composition. The reason is the bays make you want to shoot in the direction of the light, at which point not only do you end up with silhouettes, but you lose this beautiful turquoise watercolour, which seems quite a shame. I've found what I think is a composition. I'm shooting portrait format, and there's a little triangle of water in the rocks that's got the most vibrant green algae growing in it, and it points out to the sea in the same direction that all the striations and the grooves and the lines in the rocks are facing. Now bizarrely, I'm using a reverse grad. I'm not using the polarizer, because I feel that the sun is at just the wrong angle and I'll get that delightful dark blue patch in one section of the sky. So I'm just using a reverse grad. We're shooting at f/13. I've got the Lee 10 stopper, and I'm getting around about 20 seconds. Well, excuse the mess. I feel like I've been dragged through edge backwards. It's 5:45. I've had a bit of a mosey round. The sun is directly over there. Sunset is 8 o'clock, and it's supposed to move around a little bit more. And I've spotted a composition that I want to do, but it is reliant on the sun moving round so that you pick up the beautiful turquoise colour of the water in this direction. So it's just a case of waiting. So I'm having a cup of chocolate. I'm just basically watching the world go by. And I'm still amazed that this is Scotland. Apart from the fact it is at least 14 degrees. The beautiful white sands and the colour of the water. I may have mentioned before, the colour of the water is just amazing. The wind, thankfully, has now died off an awful lot, so I'm not getting buffeted left, right and centre. So yes, I'm going to sit here and just enjoy the scenery whilst I wait for the sun to move round and the evening sky to light up, which I'm not convinced is going to happen, but who cares? As I say, this I think is going to be sunrise tomorrow. I was thinking of heading back down to Arisaig itself, but I think I'm going to stay here because that turquoise water is going to be emphasised with the sunlight in the morning. The dawn colours. Oh. Right, catch up with you in a bit. Well, this really isn't the easiest of places to make a decent composition, and I'm going to have to jiggle and wiggle a little bit tonight because the wind's come up again quite strong. And the gimbal's getting blown all over the place. Mike's getting wind noise as well. We're getting a little bit of colour up here. The sun's going down over there. I'm shooting at f13, ISO 100. I have a reverse grad and the 6-stop on. I'll take the 6-stop off in a short while because as the ambient light drops, you get a longer exposure anyway. At the moment, I'm getting about 30 seconds. And I'm hiding behind a bit of a wall. It's weird, the sun hasn't lit up where I expected it to, which would have been over there. There's a little bit of colour coming up in this direction and a little bit coming up over here, but it's not as bright as this phone is making things out to be. Yeah, it's a really messy foreground, but I'm really struggling to find anywhere. All the rocks are pointing that way, which is away from the light and the colour. And where the beaches are, you don't have any foreground interest. So it would just be a little bit of white sand, which is all ringed with seaweed, a mass of water, and then the colour in the sky. So I'm going to sign off from here. I'm going to finish doing this, and then I'm going to go off and find somewhere to sleep and have some tea, because I'm rather hungry. But yeah, it's been a good afternoon. And what an absolutely fabulous place. When I arrived here, I thought I'd been transported to the Caribbean. See you in the morning, guys. Well, I was going to leave it there. The best of the colour has gone, and that is a lot stronger than it actually is. But it's been going on for 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes now. Actually, having looked at it, the bits that you can see that are yellow are actually a really deep red. So I'm just going to sit here and watch that. The high level cloud has lost all its colour, so I've stopped shooting. I was a bit of a mad dash here, there and everywhere trying to find a composition that I was really happy with, and I think I got one in the end. But now I'm just going to take the chance to sit and watch that, because that is beautiful. See you tomorrow, guys.